Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Video response, Cappy. Video response, Asshole Consulting. How you kids doing? Mike's been very patient with this video request and with the video responses. I got to go through them. I got to sit here. I can't be interrupted. And I got all nice and dark and gloomy. And I just started watching the video and already my blood pressure is going up. So this will be a test as to whether or not Cappy can keep his blood pressure down. Because it's just, I went through this before. I went through this in banking during the housing bubble where we just lent money to a bunch of financial deadbeats who are never going to pay it back. And then people are, oh my God, we need to get bailed out. So I really hold modern day college students who demand a bailout. That's the key thing, who demand a bailout. You're no better than banker scum. You're no better than those guys you're protesting against. Anyway, so Michael writes, hello Aaron. I'm wondering if you could provide us with a commentary on this piece regarding a surprise girl in student debt. He provides the link there below. Ironically, they never disclose her likely worthless degree. Also another one who fell for the feminist lie. Will they learn? Cheers, Mike. So I just started watching it. I don't know if it's just about one gal or if there was actually a mention of feminism in this. It's a video by VOA News. And the intro is painful. It's the soft piano playing right off the bat. So you know it's a lie. Anytime you hear a soft piano, ding, ding, ding. Did you know that single bachelors only make $90,000 a year and have no expenses? Ding, ding, ding. But with your help, they can make $100,000. I mean, it's stuff like that. So it's all that. They also... the first person who talks, I recognize his face but not his name. He is a Marxist congressman of some kind. I don't know if he's a senator or a rep. He's a scumbag. And so they're parasites. It's just going to be a pro-parasite video. I just know it. And it's going to be, look at this poor girl who didn't know she didn't know. Oh, they're so smart and independent-minded. How did she know her degree in worthless shit wouldn't pay off? And I followed up with Mike. Excuse me, old Captain's sick. And there won't be an older brother podcast tomorrow. Old Cappy's sick. I said, hi, Mike. 7-minute video with commentary. Let's call it 40. I might try to Google stalk her and find out what her degree is. If you're interested, make the payment here. And he Google stalked her. He says, payment has been made. I found her LinkedIn, so we're going to open this up. Do I have to log in? I hope I don't have to. There's the experience. Oh, yeah. I mean, oh, okay. All right. We got it all right there. Well, we got the answer. All this money wasted on a professionally done video when one could have just told this young lady not to major in stupid shit. But, you know, what are you expecting boomer parents to do? Tell the truth? I mean, all right. So let's, he says, can't help but feel sorry for her. She did what the machine told her and didn't have any proper guidance. That's true. I'm going through this research now for... How Not to Become a Millennial, my next book coming out. And they didn't just make bad decisions. They were trained not to. I don't still forgive the millennials because at some point you got to think, like, does your brain ever kick in? And their solution is, get us Aaron's money. We want Aaron's money. I was an idiot. My parents were idiots. So the logic is, let's have old Cappy bail us out. But it's... That's why I like to make fun and shame these people so that maybe the future generations don't do something stupid. Hard worker who looks like she could have made a good mother and wife, but instead enslaved herself to NYU political science degree. My response video is almost moot. It's almost a waste of time. It is a waste of time. I mean, how many times do we have to go over this? Don't major in the liberal arts. Don't major in the social sciences. It's STEM or the trades or go home. Just another one who was told they could have it all, follow your passion. Fuck the left and the feminist agenda. Again, I don't know if the feminist told her. We'll find out, maybe or maybe not, in this thing. So the title of this video is Cappy's got snot all over. That's the title of the video. The title is I owe about $90,000 in student loans from VOA Connect. So I've turned this up loud enough. Hopefully you can hear it.
Good morning, everyone. The Oversight and Investigation Subcommittee will come to order.
I'm going to skip to the 45-second mark.
Today's hearing is an examination of state efforts to oversee the more than $1.5 trillion student loan servicing.
All right, one thing here. The state got the state got into lending the kids money back in 2008, I believe, was the government that took over the student loan market. And since that time, it's tripled. And I'm going to explain whatever few people from the left or from the college who are students and have made it this far, just hear me out. This has nothing to do with politics. This is math. You do know that the cause of tuition going up is because you keep flooding the market with lendable dollars, with student loans. Like, if you didn't have student loans, you didn't have FAFSA, you didn't all borrow hundreds of thousands of dollars. There were no scholarships. Your parents stopped lending you money. You stopped throwing all your money. If you guys just didn't have all that money and flood the market, the price of tuition would drop to what you could afford paying cash. I mean, this dumb idea back in the day when gas prices were $4 a gallon, all you leftist idiots came out and, let's boycott big oil for a day. And anyone with 2 brain cells, you apparently only have 1, 2 brain cells, could figure out, well, won't people just get twice the amount of gas the next day? We need it. That type of strike would actually work on big education. If certainly one generation, just one semester of kids said, we're not applying to college, we're not going to college, we're going to stay at home and work and save money. If just one graduating class, the class of 2020, when they graduate, said, we're not going to college for a semester until tuition prices go down. If students, high school juniors and seniors, decide across the United States, we're not going to college until prices come down, you're not filling out our applications, we're not taking out loans, the colleges would crack and crumble, and they would lower tuition like that. But I know you kids have nothing else in life but to go to college, because that's all you have. You literally have nothing else in life but to go to college, because K through high school was so mind-numbingly boring and stupid. And college is like this promised land, this land of Canaan where it's finally better. It's not better. If you don't believe me, look at your millennial older brothers and sisters and see how well they're doing. I just want to pay less in taxes for shit that isn't my problem. That's all I want. Anyway, if you don't go to college, the solution is not to go. If you're not going to major in worthwhile, don't go. And if you want, maybe take a year off. Everybody take a year off. Aren't you sick of school? What, do you want to go again now? Why don't you all take a year off? Class of 2021. 2020 is too late. That's coming up here now. Class of 2021, class of 2022. Why don't you guys actually be the leaders? Your teachers and your parents and the media and the Democrats have all lied and propagated you to think you are. Why don't you actually take a stand and boycott big education? Because it would work. If y'all didn't go for the, what would be the education year? The 2020, 2021, no, if you graduate in 2020. Let's do 2021. Whatever. If 1 year y'all decided not to go, tuition you'd have them by the balls. You'd have them by the balls. And tuition would drop, I estimate, by 80%. And then you could pay baby boomer rates for tuition. Remember the baby you went around there? And it was dirt cheap back then. Shoot, comparatively it was dirt cheap when I went. Old Boomer Cleary. Even though I'm a Gen Xer. Anyway, so the government getting involved in this, which is, they created the problem. They're the ones that keep throwing all this taxpayer money, lending it to you, and you go drop it, and then you wonder why it's $500 a credit at an affordable college. Because no one teaches economics anymore. I mean, they don't teach it in high school, and they certainly don't teach it in college. All right.
Market.
I'm going to skip to the 45-second mark because this is when this guy actually starts talking.
About student loan and student loan issues. They approach the issue from different angles, but somehow nothing gets done and nothing happens. So it's frustrating.
All right, so this is, let me go to her name. It is probably just about one gal. Eddie Angelica Ensenales. She has an accent, so she's either, unfortunately, she's a foreign student. She's paying out-of-state tuition. But she hasn't, so maybe she's a first-generation American-born immigrant. So she's probably not coming from wealth. You know? She's walking out of some hearing. It's all very sad. It is sad for her, though.
Something about the system is broken.
Who is the system? Angela is her name? Angelica? It's the government that put this in. You believed in a leftist organization. That's the government. You believed in a leftist organization. That's big education. That's the university system. Hey, Republicans aren't here, okay? Libertarians are not here. We're not. We're just not. This is leftists hurting leftists. That's another big important point I got to get across to you young kids, all right? The Democrats and the leftists and your teachers and professors are not your friends, all right? And it's all great and wonderful. Kindergarten through college, it's great when you graduate. And you got your little robes on. Did they make you pay for the robes? I bet you they made you pay for the robes. I know, because when I graduated, they wanted me to pay $1,000 for the robes. Now it's like probably $3,000. And then once those robes are gone, guess what? They don't care about you anymore because they got your money. And there's your degree, and goodbye. Oh, and by the way, pay that back at 7% interest. Do you see the scam? Huh? Or were you so successfully indoctrinated and brainwashed by leftists from kindergarten to college that you don't realize they're your enemy and they just fucking took you for $100K and 4 years of your life, 17 years of your life if you start from kindergarten, which I do because school is fucking prison. She's walking to her apartment, it looks like. She unlocks the door.
It just seems unfair that even though, as I said, education seems to be the great equalizer.
Hang on, let's rewind that a little bit. I got ahead of myself.
As I said, education seems to be the great equalizer.
No, it is not. Education, as the millennials are finding out, is the great unequalizer. Because, again, say it with me now, you go STEM or trades or you go home. And the reason it is the great unequalizer is because it takes, I'm helping leftists here. I can't believe I'm helping leftists. It takes worthless degrees and it sells it to you at an overinflated price, and it cripples you leftists with debt that you cannot get out of. Or you can, but it's going to be very hard. And then it cripples you financially for the rest of your life. Right? Meanwhile, people who did the hard shit, let's be very clear here, this is why I don't have any sympathy for you. You majored in easy shit because you're lazy. All right? That's what it boils down to. You're lazy. All right? And because you didn't go to STEM or engineering or accounting or medicine or plumbing or welding or the military or whatever, and those guys did, they make the money, you don't. And then you come begging them, no, you don't beg. You demand they bail you out for your laziness, for your mistake. All right? All these degrees in worthless shit does not equal. I get a kick. I get a royal kick out of what, and this happened in my day. Gen X women did this. They go major in some puppies and flowers bullshit, some Mickey Mouse degree, communications, journalism, general studies, whatever. All this worthless shit that doesn't have a job at the end of it. Now, they want to get a job with a bachelor's degree, which should have been a hint. Then they go and they get a master's. Then they find some horny schlep of a guy, some nerd who was an engineering major. They marry, and the girls have the balls to say that they're more educated and intelligent because they have a master's degree in communications while this guy only has a bachelor's degree in nuclear engineering. Meanwhile, they're getting bailed out by the husband. They pay off the student loans. It is not equal. It is 100% dependent on what you major in. And that is where the baby boomers and your teachers and your parents fucking lied to you. They didn't have the balls to tell you not to follow your heart and the money will follow. They wanted the easy way out. They didn't want a parent. They didn't want to tell you the hard stuff. They didn't want to tell you no. They just want little junior. Oh my goodness, you're going to become amazing. So amazing. You follow your heart and money will follow. Oh, by the way, you're fucked. You're completely fucked. And it's in part because you listen to them. And you deep down inside, I think you believe, you know this, because why else would all you major in easy shit? So education is not the great equalizer. It is the great unequal. Holy shit, let's talk about two groups of people that are completely fucked. Screwed over by the people that claim to help them most. That would be the left again. Women's studies majors and ethnic studies majors. African American history, Chicano American studies. You want to talk about betrayal and Uncle Tom. Hey, here's a degree that presumably on the face of it is going to help Latinos, Hispanics, blacks, Asian women, whatever group of people. By the way, give us $100,000 for that, and here's your degree in it. Do you understand how you got hoodwinked by people who claim to be your own kind and be on your team? And now you're fucked. You are fucked for not the rest of your life, but at least a decade. But let me guess, you're so brainwashed by leftist indoctrinated thinking at college, you don't realize the professors are your enemy. You think it's, wow, what did they tell you? Guys with my color skin? Well, let me see, do I have a penis? Oh my God, I do! I must be the problem because there's a penis down here. And then you all think you're smart because you're college educated. We're independent mind. I got myself a master's degree. It's penis white guys' fault. It's Republicans. All right, let's not get too out of hand.
Right now, I just feel, it feels so unequal for me.
Oh, she's sitting by herself now, the piano playing. She's looking lonely out into the...
All I wanted to do, I went to high school, I got good grades, I worked hard to get into a good college.
It's too bad. I have many people who disagree with us on my team, but I have always championed and tried to encourage women to major in engineering and STEM and accounting and the like. You go look through all my videos where we talk about education and women, and I have always, do you want to close the wage gap? Stop majoring in stupid shit, ladies. And here's a tragic example. I actually believe this gal is intelligent. If you got, I mean, a 3.0 ain't what it used to be, but if you get a 4.0, I think she probably got straight A's. There's some intelligence there. She could have been a great engineer. She could have been a great accountant. She could have been a great actuary. She could have been a great programmer. But now we've wasted 4 years of her youth and $90,000 of our money. I hope she pays it back. Then it will be her money. She will actually have paid for her education. But here's another thing. It's so sad. It's so... Dude, lady, didn't you get to party and have fun for 4 years off of the backs of us? I mean, this is the one thing I get a kick out of. The millennials and now Gen Zers are borrowing money from other people, the taxpayers predominantly, or at least it's guaranteed by the taxpayers. You get this college experience, which is the most overpriced luxury item ever. A Ferrari is cheap compared to this, because at least you get something with a Ferrari. You pay for it, you get food, clothing, shelter, everything bought and paid for, you get this education. And now you're the victim. You're the victim. You're thieves. You're highway robbers, and not like little highway robbers. You're going to steal from the fucking country on the order of $1.5 trillion. That's more than what the bankers stole. I know. What's sad, the majority of college graduates today, especially liberal arts majors, you don't know the difference between $1 billion and $1 trillion, do you? You really don't, do you?
I didn't fail out of college. I didn't party my way out of college. I just went there, got an education, made friends, made connections, did everything that they tell you to do by the book.
Who told you, Angelica? Who? I cannot point out more an example of people who lied to you. Your political science professors lied to you, stole my money that I lent you, that you got to pay back, by the way. I can't point that out enough, that people who claim to be your friends aren't your fucking friends. Assholes like me, well, I'm not your friend, but I'm the only guy out there telling you the truth. Well, there's other people out there trying to tell you the truth too, but you didn't want to listen to us. It's also why I run a company called Asshole Consulting, because I know nice guy consulting ain't what it's going to be. It's could have all been avoided if somebody's parents, Eddie, Angelica, was it Eddie or Angelica? Eddie Ensenales. I'm sorry, Eddie Ensenales. Eddie, if your parents had the fucking balls to tell you the truth, if some professors had the balls to say, hey, look, kid, I want to major in political science, if you had the intellectual independence and the true critical thinking to maybe think of a different, seek out a different opinion, you would have avoided all this shit. But now I got to hear piano music. Dun, dun. Oh my God, poor Eddie got $90,000 of other people's money to piss away on a worthless degree. It is and it is not her fault at the same time.
But then it just cost me so much money. And I'm not saying that I regret the education that I received.
Well, then you didn't learn a damn thing, sweetheart.
Because I don't. I think they were great years. But I feel like there has to be another way. There has to be a way where people like me don't have to suffer this much.
Eddie? Why do they call her Angelica? Maybe that's her official name. Eddie. There is another way for all liberal arts majors and social science majors to get the education you'd like, borderline free. It's called the library. Because here's the thing, your degree, as you and millions of people like you are finding out, is completely worthless. It has no economic value. Now, this doesn't mean these fields don't have intellectual value, or philosophical value, or even entertainment value. I've been consuming a lot of philosophy, but I was not dumb enough to go fork over $100 of credit back in the day for it. There's podcasts that you don't even have to go to the library. You go on the internet. There's everything on the internet for fucking free. Libraries has books. Books, by the way, you don't have to pay $300 a shot for because the 98th edition came out and the 97th edition is obsolete now. You could go to the library, get the exact same education, probably better, because you're not fucking around with all these prereqs that have nothing to do with your degree. You could just specialize and become a better philosopher, a better journalist, a better women's studies major, just studying what you want for free at the library or on the internet. And you're going to come out, in your case, $90,000 ahead because there was never a job there for you anyway. I hope this poor lady didn't go on to grad school. Oh my God, Jesus, and it'd be $120,000 or something. Walking out all clad.
When I'm coming home from work and seeing everybody kind of pass by, the families with their kids, I think about me and when that will be a possibility.
Well, here's what's sad. Eddie's quite an attractive young lady. She's very pretty. And you could have... Do we want to go down this route? Did you women... Because the education bubble disproportionately affects women on two reasons. One, more women go to college. And two, the large majority, 67% I believe, I have to look up the statistics, the large majority of the worthless degrees are conferred to women. Right? Now, ladies... Do you want to have kids, yes or no? If you do, I don't know if you remember this in your sex ed class back in the 8th or 9th grade or whenever they gave it to you, but there's this thing called menopause, and it's coming. Tickety-tock, tickety-tock. And while you're young and beautiful, that's the best time to go find yourself a guy. Because I don't care what you'd like it to be or what your professor said it should be. In the real world, men like youth and beauty and fertility. That's what they want, because biologically, that's most likely statistically to breed successful children. If you wanted to have a family, why didn't you do that? Don't give me this shit. Well, I can't rely upon a man. Then you're not going to have a family. All right? And you don't, here's the other thing. There are so many government programs in place. You're not going to be rich. It's not going to be a great time. But you're going to be taken care of. I mean, there's no risk. Let's be very dark and macabre. Let's be really analytical and clinical and sterile and cold. You can always divorce a guy, get his fucking money, get child support, as long as you're not fucking psycho or crazy. Right? And there's a WIC, TAMF, outright welfare. And that I think those are all national. WIC is administered, I think, by the state, but funded federally, whatever. That doesn't even include the state local programs. There is no risk financially, I'm not saying emotionally, in getting married and having kids with men today. Because the government's got your back. The government's got your six. Right? It may not afford you a McMansion in the suburbs. But don't give me this, what if he leaves me? I can't rely on a man. If that's your attitude, and that's why you're going and getting these shitty degrees, then you shouldn't have kids. Because now here's where the emotional and psychological, if you don't want to rely on a man, yet you want to have a family, then you can't have a family because the kids need their fathers. Kids need their mothers, they need their fathers. Men say, I can't rely on a woman. That's why I'm going to go and have a surrogate woman bear my children. The kid needs the mom. The kid needs the dad. So if you're going into that with such distrust, fuck you. You're not qualified to be a mother. You're not going to have a family. Unfortunately, to have a family, those nasty, dirty, disgusting men have to be a part of it if you want to do it right. But if you want to go and just single mom it like all the single moms in America, what great success stories they and their children have become. What is it? 80% of the prison population are single moms, or not single moms, were raised by single moms. Eddie, you're beautiful, you're pretty. You could have had that. Now, any savvy guy, and this is happening, men are getting much more they're getting more hip to the jive than you might think. They're starting to say, hey, how much debt do you got? How much debt? That's a huge liability. Not only financial, but now romantic, emotional, and familial. Who is going to marry you of any quality and caliber? You're going to find another guy who, I know it's not sexy. It's not an investment banker or a surgeon or a rock star, but let's just assume there's this guy called Joe. Boring old Joe. Got his welding certificate. Now he works on the oil rigs out in the Gulf of Mexico, making a paltry $45 an hour. And he drives a truck, a dirty old truck. And he's, 25. Oh, he's going nowhere. He's Joe. He's got a truck. He's dirty. He comes home, he's got gunk under his nails. He's off there for 2 weeks at a shot. You don't want Joe. And you know what? Joe don't have a degree. What are the girls going to say at your sorority when you all meet up for the 5-year reunion and they find out Joe don't have a degree? Oh, you can't marry Joe. Well, got news for you, sweetheart. Joe busted his ass off to get to that $45 an hour, working 3 12-hour shifts or whatever, 2 weeks on, 1 week off, or whatever these Bakken oil field type of work arrangements they have. These guys are going to be very savvy about their money. And they're coming up, and all that's being dumped out into the market to them is debt-laden young women with worthless degrees that have no economic value and a ton of student loan debt. You're a financial liability to them. About the only thing worse you could do is go and have another man's kid at this point. That's about the only thing that would be worse than somebody who has $90,000 worth of student loan debts and a worthless degree. It'd be different if, like, say you were a doctor or a dentist, CPA engineer type. Then she got a good degree in earning. There's because it's an asset. You got $90,000. You essentially have $90,000 in credit card debt because you bought a bunch of crap with it.
I am 27 years old.
Tickety-tock, tickety-tock.
And I still have 16 years to pay my loans because I have the 20-year repayment plan, which guarantees the lower payments, which are what I can afford right now.
Okay, I'm gonna hat tip to Eddie. Eddie's actually paying back her student loans. Sounds like Eddie's being responsible, not gonna be a parasite. She's not, I want to bail out. As the Mike, the requester, pointed out, and she is intellectually honest. I think she did get hoodwinked. I do feel bad for Eddie. I don't want to pay out her student loans though, because I pay back mine. Well, I didn't have mine. I worked through college. Boring concept. I'll explain it later.
And this means that I'm going to end up finishing paying my loans when I'm 42 years old.
So you will finally start putting money away for yourself when you are 20 years away from retirement. You wouldn't have had a house. You wouldn't have had kids. You're as you're going right now, you will have wasted almost 2/3 of your life being a financial deadbeat, and then at 42, you will finally start making money for yourself. Do you see how much the education industry, and I include K through 12 on this, fucks you young people over? Do you see how the Democrats and the left, because that's who leads the education industry, it's not us Republicans and Libertarians, how they fucked you over? Let me guess, you're gonna vote Elizabeth Warren or Bernie because you're gonna give you the money. You don't know what hyperinflation is.
So that's not really when people want to get their starter home.
Home?
Also marriage, when will I get married? Me coming into like a situation with all of these loans would have an impact on my partner. So
Again, I tip my hat to Eddie. She is at least being selfless in thinking about the guy in this one. This is more intellectual honesty than I see coming from any liberal arts major. So again, Mike is right. This woman is intellectually honest and probably a true victim. Well, she is a true victim, but not a hypocritical one where it's like, screw those guys with that color skin and that type of plumbing and I deserve a bailout.
I would want to minimize that as much as possible whenever I decide to get married. And also kids are expensive. So if I'm paying like...
You could have. Oh, never mind.
a small mortgage in loans, then how can I afford kids? And I would like to have kids, and I would like to get married.
What if you just got married at 18, 19, or 20 while you were working whatever job? You didn't go into debt. You found a reliable... Remember Joe over on the oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico? Do you think you could afford to have 1 or 2 kids with a guy that brings home 80... Well, maybe he doesn't bring home... Grosses 80, 85 grand a year? You budgeted correctly? You don't have daycare because you take care of the kids? I know that's sexism nowadays. Oh my God. You had the kids and then you raised the kids. Why shit. Humanity only did that 99.999999999% of its existence. But those feminist quanta-ha-has back in the 60s, they knew better than all of human evolution in history. Because they read some books by Marx.
The loans are something that definitely hangs over my head and kind of affects how I approach certain situations and how much I want to delay those big decisions. And that's not even what's on my mind right now. What's on my mind right now is more grad school.
Oh, Jesus.
But if I think further ahead, then obviously all those fears creep in.
Okay, Eddie, look, you have a salvageable situation here. You can read books like Early Retirement Extreme, Mr. Money Mustache. Well, I even got a book here. It's more geared towards retirement. Well, maybe I don't have that book here. Once upon a time I had a book here. It's like Once Upon a Time in the West, but not that exciting. Oh, well. It's called Poor Richard's Retirement. Eddie, you can get out of this, okay? You're smart. You have your shit together. Well, you don't have your shit together, but mentally you do. The political science department just fucked you over, all right? They're dicks got into every hole in your body, and you're sitting there wiping cum off your face, oh, I gotta go back. Do you not know who your enemy is? I mean, I hope you're going back to grad school for like programming or something that's going to get you a job. But don't go back. You just got fucked. You got totally raped by the education industry. And you're not thinking. The irony of everyone going to college claiming they're don't you have to take critical thinking classes and you come out, you don't critically think. You can get out of this if you want. You have to hunker down. You got to go back and live with your parents. And frankly, they owe it to you. If your parents didn't tell you or warn you, if they ever uttered, follow your heart, buddy, will follow. You can do anything you want, sweetheart. They owe you free lodging, millennials. I'll stop busting your balls about living at home there. I'll grant you that one. If they lied to you about the realities of college degrees today, they owe you free lodging. So you save your money, you work 2 jobs, it's gonna suck. You pay it down, you refinance once it gets down to a certain low, like 30 grand. Follow Dave Ramsey. He's like my much more polite and Christian version. Not as crass as me, but the point is the same. You pay down that debt, and then you get it. You know what? Then I'd learn to be a nice wife. I'd learn to be a nice woman. And you go out and you date nice guys, good, reliable guys. Joe, over in the oil fields, or the Gulf of Mexico. Those type of guys, right? You find good men who support themselves, and who also want to get married and have kids. And with the rest of your time that you're not working, this is why I recommend working security guard. Actually, you know what, Eddie, you'd really, and anybody else, you'd really benefit from this, even though it's written for men, Bachelor Pad Economics. There's a bunch of list of jobs, notably security, working late night security, where you can work and make money, yet study another thing. And many of my listeners, predominantly young men, have taught themselves accounting and programming while doing that, because you can go to school online. You pay down your student loans at the same time while learning yourself a skill or a trade, so that by the time you knock it down to 30 grand, it's not that bad. It's like a car loan. You're doing all right. And you're very pretty. You're young. Your looks is not going to be a problem. You should be able to find good quality men. That way you have a skill, a trade, something to go and make a little bit more money in case you don't find a guy. And also, let's say you go find a guy and you have kids, and then what do you do afterwards? Well, this is where I run into a problem. A bunch of guys like, women trying to get, I'm like, yeah, what are those things going to do? Then the kids are off to school. Then you got yourself a skill or trade. Then you go be a programmer or an accountant or something like that. But you can do it. I say you could do it by the time you're 30, 31, which is technically not too late. It's redlining it. You're cutting it close, but you can do it. You go to grad school, Eddie, you're fucked for the rest of your life. It's done. It's over. It's over. Right? It's not over. Like, your life isn't over. But you are not going to be wedded to a man raising kids. That's not going to be in the cards. It won't be. You will, however, be wedded to paying off whatever additional student loans you get working in political science, which means you're going to be begging for grant money. You're essentially going to become a white-collar panhandler, begging the taxpayer for money to fund some bullshit study that proves whatever, and it really doesn't, because the study conclusion has already got a narrative. What do you want? That's a question to all the girls and guys out there, but the student loan crisis disproportionately affects women, and a big fighting thing is, do you girls want a family? Go have a family while you can. And then while you got a little bit of extra time, study. Take classes online. Women in the past didn't have this option. You can go to school online. Watch over the kids, take a class. In this regard, you can have it all. But now you can't. Now you really can't. You really can't, because you fucked up.
About now being able to do certain things that will be good for me and good for my family, like having a home. Are you going to stay at home and raise the kids? That's another kind of important one. Or are you just going to spit them out, outsource them to daycare, outsource them to a nanny, and then you're going to go do your political science career or whatever it was? What's more important, the kids or your career? That doesn't exist.
Piano. Now she's getting a little choked up.
I owe about $90,000 in loans. I'm paying probably $850.
That's good. It's good. You're doing good, kid. Although, hang on, let old Catmeister do a little bit of math here. 850 times 12. What's your interest rate? Holy shit. I don't have a amortization estimator here, but you got to have a pretty high interest rate. Can you refinance it?
As my monthly payment. And that is about a little less than a third of my salary. I mean, those earrings are nice, but they're for sure out of my budget. It's like $169 for...
But come on, millennials, YOLO. Just go into more debt like the other millennials did. Which they did. I did research for that book I talked about. More debt.
A pair of earrings, too much, for sure. The other piece is that I have about $35,000 that are under my name. But the bulk of my loans is under Parent Plus loans, which are...
You suckered your parents into this. They co-signed the loan, didn't they? Ah. That's justice. Because if your parents did such a shitty job training you and preparing you for choosing such a poor degree, I'm glad they got a little bit of financial skin. Actually, a lot of financial skin in it. But Boomer's gonna boom.
Under my mom's name.
Dad! Where's Dad? Where is Dad? Don't tell me it's just on your poor mom. But don't tell me that your mom thought she could do it all too, and that now it's just you and your mom. Your mom's a single mom, and now your mom is really, really, really fucked. I hope you're learning from what your mom is going through, subsidizing or co-signing your loans, why it's important that mothers and fathers stay together, and that you pick the right guy. Yeah, fuck it.
In the time that I graduated college, my mom and my dad divorced. Well, their family income kind of split in half, so she's making like enough for herself. But
what? Okay. Why are you entitled to their income? I know the student loans are now co-signed by. Was it just your mom and not your dad?
She's not able to do more. There's also like she has all of these loans under her name, so her credit is maxed out.
God, I know the money for a manicure and some nails here.
I often think about like, okay, you know, in 2 years, if she ever wants to buy a house, what would that mean for her? My loans have an impact in her ability to buy a house.
Yes.
I feel guilt
Good.
that because of the type of education that I wanted to get and because of the school that I wanted to go to, you know, she could potentially face financial burdens.
Potentially, she already is. You're right. She is not going to qualify for a mortgage. She is experiencing a lower standard of living because you went to an overpriced school and got a shit-ass degree.
Because of that. It's hard for me, and I'm sure it's hard for her, even though she doesn't talk about it.
Well, I feel awful, and it's horrible knowing that I'm not able to help my daughter.
It's too late. It's too late. Do you parents... Boomer, never mind. I'm talking to boomers. Fuck you guys. You don't care. Do you Gen Xers and millennials, are you guys paying attention now so that when the next generation of kids we start raising coming up, we have a good conversation with our kids about the merits and the importance and the necessity that your kids major in the right shit? This book, where is it? I gotta have this book somewhere. No, that's not it. That's not it. Where did my book go? Oh, here it is. No, that unplugged. This book is almost 10 years old. 10 fucking years. It's not a bestseller. You wanna know why? Because it's truthful. It doesn't tell you what you want to hear. It's not puppies and flowers and unicorns. It's written by that asshole right there. That schmuck. But he's not much of an asshole. Would it have avoided this? Would Eddie be in the problem if she read this and followed the advice in this book? This should be an all-time national bestseller because it would have saved the country $1.5 trillion. And Lord knows how much pain and agony the millennial generation and Gen Zers are going through. And this should be read by parents. And lady, if you just had the conversation with your daughter about, if you guys just did the research and said political science, that's a worthless degree, don't go there. But you didn't have the balls to parent. You didn't know, you're ignorant, whatever. But again, it's too late. Baby boomer's gonna boom. All right, but going forward, can at least Gen X and millennial parents have this conversation with their kids? And if you don't want, you're too spineless, because I know men nowadays, you guys are drinking your soy and drinking your kombucha or whatever it is millennial men today do. All right, if you don't want to deliver the bad news, just buy this kid this book. Okay, I think it's like $12, $11, I don't know. I'll tell you what it is, and it's not $90,000 fucking dollars and 7.5%. This all could have been avoided if parents fucking parented.
With those horrible loans. And she's a good kid. She's been working really hard. She's a good student. And not having the option to give her money or to help her to pay the debt is really bad. I feel bad.
Good. Everybody should feel bad in this. Are we going to learn anything? Is the country going to learn from the mistakes of Eddie and her mother and her father? Anybody? Not yet. What? Or do we just want to like suck off the tits of like sweet tasting lies? Oh, sweet tasting lies. I major in women's studies and poetry, and I'm going to make 6 figures. It's my dream. Joe, he works in the oil fields in the Gulf. He comes back all home dirty and drives a truck.
I'm definitely not the only one in this situation. People in the States owe about $1.5 trillion.
And do you know what that is?
It's a huge problem. It's bigger than just me and me making quote unquote bad decisions.
Wow! Eddie, God bless you, kid. At least you knew it was God bless you. Don't make another bad decision going to get a master's degree in political science, please.
Even though this is the reality of things, in my heart, I still think that young people, no matter what their background is, should be able to access the education that they want to access.
Absolutely. And you could do that by going to the library, pursuing fields where you don't have to get a college degree. IT and computer worlds like that, you can get certifications. You can teach yourself programming boot camps. All right? And if you do want to go to college, you go there. But for STEM or some kind of field that pays, actuarial science, accounting, etc. All right? That it is there. And you don't have to, $90,000, what school did you go to? There's community college, there's online classes, Western Governors University, ASU Online, 2 accredited online schools. At least get your prereqs knocked out of the way. I think it's $6,000 a year. The internet's out there, guys. It's possible. We can have affordable tuition. It does exist. You guys got to have that fucking college experience, don't you? You guys just swallow hook, line, and sinker what they told you in K through 12, didn't you? Affordable education is accessible. It's just you guys don't want education. You want a party. Now, young Eddie here, she seemed to have wanted to go to college for the real deal. But that's not the majority. Majority of you just want the college experience. Because I've seen it. I've talked to young kids, teenagers. They don't listen. They don't listen. They want that college experience. They want that land of Canaan. They want that 4-year party. That's their birthright after putting them through 13 years of prison in the form of public schools. I understand. But they don't have to go $90,000 in debt to get it. But they will, because it's their birthright. YOLO, 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 YOLO.
Like, education should not be a bad thing. Like,
all liberal arts and all social science degrees are bad things. Well, okay. All degrees conferred are bad things and the price you pay for them. Go to the library, free. Library? Oh.
Me going to a good school should not be a bad thing.
It doesn't matter where you go to school. It matters what you major in. Right? As long as it's an accredited school, it doesn't matter. I mean, you go to Harvard, yes, but that's where you get jobs because of, hey, Charles, Chip Meister, Chipperoni. Say, can I suck your father's dick for an internship over the Ninth Circuit? You sure can, Chaz. Then that's the Ivy League, but that's not what we're talking here. Piano music. U.S. debt is more than the rest of the world's combined. I don't care. And then it fades out. All right, so that's what it is. Look, VOA, government, left, whatever organizations are out there, whatever politicians are telling you, they are wrong. They are wrong. Bailing out students is not going to work. Okay? It's because no one's going to learn. Right? It is going after these opportunities where you can get a bachelor's degree or a certification, where there is a job attached to it, through affordable community colleges. Or you go there for 2 years, get your prerequisite, then you go to the state school. Or you go online. The opportunity exists that you have affordable school and college. It's up to the parents, because I don't charter the students with this much responsibility, because, well, frankly, students, you're young and dumb and stupid. You want your party college experience there, because that's all you have in life. It's up to the parents to make sure you don't do this to your damn kids. God almighty, don't co-sign the loan, Jesus. But I know, I guess it's too much to ask you parents to actually tell your kids no, to introduce a little bit of reality, that you're just spineless, you just keep kicking the can down the road, and that now this happens? And now you think Eddie's ma is going to be able to save for retirement? Eddie's ma looks like she was in her 50s. Truth and success in the future, and pain now, or lies, warm fuzzy feelings now, but a lot more pain and misery and failure in the future. What do you want? There you go. Hopefully this video introduces some reality. Hopefully this video would stop the education bubble dead in its tracks. Hopefully the class of 2021 boycotts big education and tuition comes down by 20%. But in case not, whoever's listening here, this book is vital. It's worth the, I don't know, $12, $9 Kindle paperback audio. Getting your kids to pay attention is another matter. This book as well. And yes, I am promoting my own stuff, but I'm promoting it because this is it's 100% specific to it. Bachelor Pad Economics. I know it's for men, but the laws of economics apply equally to men and women. It's just men listen. And I don't have the other one. Well, it's gone. Poor Richard's Retirement. That's gone. I don't know where that is. But anyway, yeah, this is a problem we can end today. It's a problem we could end tomorrow. This isn't like global warming or the national debt. It's going to add to the national debt. It's going to add to the national debt, but we don't have to add any more future debt to the national debt, at least through education. We'll fight wars and add a ton of debt that way. Don't worry, the national debt will grow, but we don't have to do it this way. It's so much easier. And the solution is there. Just don't major in the liberal arts. Don't major in the social sciences. Go STEM or the trades or go home. And there's nothing wrong with staying at home and working. Because that's what you're going to do with a liberal arts degree anyway. You're going to live at home. You're going to work as a barista or a gas station attendant or a bartender. Nothing wrong with that. It's legit work. But why do you need $90,000 in student loans to do that? Why? All right, that's it. Check out all the links down below. You'll find it very resourceful and helpful. Yes, it's going to be a lot of cursing and swearing. It's not going to be nice. No, it's not going to be the pretty lies you've been used to having your little ass pampered with your entire lives. It's a kick in the ass, not a kissing of the ass. My consulting company, Asshole Consulting, the motto, you want to be lied to, hire a regular consultant. You want the truth, hire an asshole. That's me, assholeconsulting.com. We have. We have saved thousands of young boys' lives. Some women too, but men are the only ones, ironically, that listen to me. And I've gotten the emails like, hey, Captain, thank you for making... I was going to major in political science, but then now I'm getting my CPA. I've seen it. I've seen it. I'd like to save millions of lives. I'd like to save Gen Z from not making the mistakes of millennials and Gen X did. I'd like to counter the absolutely shitty parenting that the baby boomers and some of the older Gen Xers instilled upon their children. It doesn't start with touchy-feely piano videos like this where it's like, we gotta give them more money. All right, links down below. See you guys later. Toodles.